بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. صلوات. اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد. دیگر صلوات. اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد. روی جابر ابن عبداللہ انصاری ان فاطمۃ الزہرا علیہ السلام بنت رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ قال سمعت فاطمۃ انہا قالت دخل علی ابی رسول اللہ فی بعض الایام فقال السلام علیک علیک السلام قال انی قال سمعت علیک یا فاطمۃ قالت دخل علی ابی رسول اللہ فی بعض الایام فقال السلام علیک یا فاطمۃ فقلت علیک السلام قال انی اجد فی بدن ضعفا فقلت له اعوذک باللہ یفتح من الضعف فقال یا فاطمۃ ائتینی بالکساء الیمانی فغیتینی بہ فاتیتہ بالکساء الیمانی فغطیتہ بہ وسرت انظر الیہ واذا وجہ یطلع کأنہ البدر فی لیلۃ تمامہ وکمالہ فما كانت الا ساعة واذا بولدی الحسن قد اقبل فقال السلام علیک یا امہ فقلت وعلیک السلام یا قرۃ عینی و ثمرۃ فؤادی فقال یا امہ انی اشم عندک رائحۃ طیبۃ کأنہ رائحۃ جدی رسول اللہ وقلت نعم ان جدک تحت الکساء اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد فاقبل الحسن نحو الکساء وقال السلام علیک یا جداہ یا رسول اللہ اتظنونی السلام بنت رسول اللہ فقلت علیک السلام یا ابا الحسن و امیر المومنین فقال یا فاطمۃ انی اشم عندک رائحۃ طیبۃ کان رائحۃ جدی رسول اللہ. اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد. ایک سیکنڈ آئیے گا. میرا فون جو ہے نا یہ صحیح نہیں ہے کچھ، یہ اس میں آ رہا نہیں ہے، کچھ کلیئر نہیں آ رہا. آپ کے پاس ہاں دوسرا اگر ہے آپ کے پاس. پڑھیں گے کیا؟ یہ صاف ہے نا؟ ٹھیک. ہاں ٹھیک ہے. سمعت فاطمۃ انہا قالت دخل علی ابی رسول اللہ فی بعض الایام فقال السلام علیک یا فاطمۃ فقلت علیک السلام قال انی اجد فی بدنی ضعفا فقلت له اعوذک باللہ یفتح من الضعف فقال یا فاطمۃ ائتینی بالکساء الیمانی فغطینی بہ واتیتہ بالکساء الیمانی فغطیتہ بہ وسرت انظر الیہ واذا وجہ یطلع کأنہ البدر فی لیلۃ تمامہ وکمالہ فما كانت الا ساعة واذا بولدی الحسن قد اقبل وقال السلام علیک یا امہ فقلت وعلیک السلام یا قرۃ عینی وثمرۃ فؤادی فقال یا اماہ انی اشم عندک رائحۃ طیبۃ کأنہا رائحۃ جدی رسول اللہ فقلت نعم ان جدک تحت الکساء فاقبل الحسن نحو الکساء وقال السلام علیک یا جداہ یا رسول اللہ اتذن لی ان ادخل معک تحت الکساء فقال وعلیک السلام یا ولدی ویا صاحب حوضی قد اذنت لک فدخل معه تحت الکساء فما كانت الا ساعة واذا بولدی الحسین قد اقبل وقال السلام علیک یا اماہ فقلت وعلیک السلام یا ولدی ویا قرۃ عینی وثمرۃ فؤادی فقال لی یا اماہ انی اشم عندک رائحۃ طیبۃ کأنہا رائحۃ جدی رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ فقلت نعم ان جدک واخاک تحت الکساء فدنا الحسین نحو الکساء وقال السلام علیک یا جداہ السلام علیک یا من اختارہ اللہ اتذن لی ان اکون معکما تحت الکساء فقال وعلیک السلام یا ولدی ویا شافع امتی قد اذنت لک فدخل معہما تحت الکساء فاقبل عند ذلك ابو الحسن علی بن ابی طالب وقال السلام علیک یا بنت رسول اللہ فقلت وعلیک السلام یا فاطمۃ انی اشم عندک رائحۃ طیبۃ کأنہا رائحۃ اخی وابن امی رسول اللہ فقلت نعم ہا ہوا مع ولدیک تحت الکساء فاقبل علی نحو الکساء وقال السلام علیک یا رسول اللہ اتذن لی ان اکون معکم تحت الکساء قال له وعلیک السلام یا اخی ویا وسی وخلیفتی وصاحب اللواء قد اذنت لک فدخل علی تحت الکساء ثم اتیت نحو الکساء وقلت السلام علیک یا ابتاہ یا رسول اللہ اتذن لی ان اکون معکم تحت الکساء قال وعلیک السلام یا بنتی یا بضعتی قد اذنت لک فدخلت تحت الکساء فلما اکتملنا جميعا تحت الکساء اخذ برسول اللہ بطرف الکساء وأومى بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وهامتي لحمهم لحمي ودامهم دامي يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم إنهم مني وأنا منهم فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد فقال الله عز وجل يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي إني ما خلقت صمام مبنية ولا أرزا مدهية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مزية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرين يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء فقال الأمين جبرائيل يا رب ومن تحت الكساء فقال عز وجل هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدد الرسالة هم فاطمة وأبوها وبالها وبنوها اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد فقال جبرائيل يا رب أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله العلي الأعلى يقرأك السلام ويخصك بالتحیت والاکرام ویقول لک وعزتی وجلالی انی ما خلقت صمام مبنیۃ ولا ارض مدیۃ ولا فلک ولا قمرا منیرا ولا شمسا مزیۃ ولا فلکا یدور ولا بحرا یجری ولا فلکا یسری الا لاجلکم ومحبتکم وقد اذن لی ان ادخل معکم فهل تأذنوا لی یا رسول اللہ فقال رسول اللہ وعلیک السلام یا امین وحی اللہ انہ نام قد اذنت لک فدخل جبرائیل معنا تحت الکساء فقال لأبی ان اللہ قد اوحى الیکم یقول انما یرید اللہ لیذہب عنکم الرجس اہل البیت ویطہرکم تطہیرا اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد فقال علی لأبی یا رسول اللہ اخبرنی ما لجلوسنا ھذا تحت الکساء من الفضل عند اللہ فقال النبی والذی بعثنی بالحق نبیا واصطفانی برسالت نجیم ما ذکر خبرنا ھذا فی محفل من محافل اہل الارض وفیہ جمع من شیعتنا ومحبینا الا ونزلت علیہم الرجس علیہم الرحمت وحفت بہم الملائکۃ واستغفرت لہم الی ان یتفرقوا فقال علی اذن واللہ فزنا وفاز شیعتنا ورب الکعبۃ فقال النبی ثانیا یا علی والذی بعثنی بالحق نبیا واصطفانی برسالت نجیم ما ذکر خبرنا ھذا فی محفل من محافل اہل الارض وفیہ جمع من شیعتنا ومحبینا وفیہم محموم الا وفرج اللہ ہمہ ولا مغموم الا وکشف اللہ غمہ ولا طالب حاجت الا وقضى اللہ حاجتہ فقال علی اذن واللہ فوزنا وسعدنا وکذالک شیعتنا فازوا وسعدوا فی الدنیا والآخرۃ برب الکعبۃ اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد.
بنت رسول احمد مختار فاطمہ، بنت رسول احمد مختار فاطمہ، جنت کے مرد و زن کی ہیں سردار فاطمہ، زوجائے پاک حیدر کرار فاطمہ، یعنی ولی حق کی نگہدار فاطمہ، سارے جہاں کی ماؤں پر ان کو ہے امتیاز، حسنین کے شعور کی معمار فاطمہ، دروازے کی تو چوٹ تھی اپنی جگہ الگ، انسانیت کے دکھ سے تھیں بیمار فاطمہ، باغ فدق نہیں تھا وراثت تھی دین کی، دربار سے تھیں جس کی طلبگار فاطمہ، سید ہزار ان کو یہ سارے پسند کریں، سید ہزار ان کو یہ سارے پسند کریں، بیزار ہوں میں جن سے تھیں بیزار فاطمہ۔ ایک تھوڑی سی ذرا آزاد نظم ہے۔ فاطمہ پاک نبی کی بیٹی، کتنی مظلوم ہے تو، تیرا حق چھینا گیا اور سب خاموش رہے، تیرا دروازہ کے جس پر کہ نبی یہ آخر ہر سحر آن کے کرتے تھے سلام، اسے توڑا گیا ایسے کہ تو زخمی ہوئی، اور یہ چوٹ بنی محسن کم سن کی شہادت کا سبب، تیری شہادت کا سبب، اور تیرا شوہر علی جس کی ہمت کا گواہ خود ہے خدائے برتر، اسے چپ رہنا پڑا دین نبی کی خاطر، کتنا مظلوم اور مجروح تھا وہ تیری طرح، اس نے 25 برس بوجھ اٹھائے رکھا، سب سے جز اہل وفا نام قاتل کو چھپائے رکھا، ہم بھی مظلوم ہیں اے میرے نبی کی بیٹی، ہم کے واقف ہیں تیرے قاتل دیرینہ سے، اور چاہتے ہیں کہ لعنت کریں کھل کر اس پر، آج بھی اس کا مگر نام نہیں لے سکتے، اور وہ تیرا ستمگر قاتل آج بھی مسند تکریم پر بیٹھا ہوا ہے۔ کتنی مظلوم ہے تو، کتنا مظلوم ہے تیرا شوہر، کتنے مظلوم ہے سب دین محمد کے حقیقی وارث، فاطمہ میرے نبی کی بیٹی، ناؤ اور نوش میں مدہوش ہے ساری دنیا، تیرا حق چھینا گیا مگر آج بھی خاموش ہے ساری دنیا۔ درود بر محمد علیہ۔
مر محمد والے محمد بلندر صلوات۔ سلام کی چند اشعار پیش کروں۔ تیری امت نے میرے در کو جلایا بابا، تیری امت نے میرے در کو جلایا بابا، پھر وہ جلتا ہوا در، پھر وہ جلتا ہوا در مجھ پہ گرایا بابا، تیری امت نے میرے در کو جلایا بابا، راکھ تھی شعلے تھے صحن میں ہوئے بچے یا دھواں، میرے آنگن میں تھا ایک شام غریباں समा दर हटा कर मुझे फिजा ने उठाया बाबा। लौट कर आई तो चेहरा भी मेरा जख्मी था। मेरी ज़ैनब को मेरी पेशी का पहला नोहा मेरे गालों की सफ़ेदी ने सुनाया।
السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الأطيبين الأنجبين بهم نتولى ومن أعدائهم نتبرأ إلى الله. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. صلى الله على محمد وعلى محمد وعلى محمد. Thank you all for giving this opportunity to serve. And we ask Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala to make this majlis a majlis of noor, a majlis of ma'rifah, of learning. And the ajr and the reward of this majlis be given to all mazlumeen of this entire creation, especially the mazlumeen that are being killed every day in our Muslim lands, in the Palestine. Now that what makes them special, it's their oppression, the mazlumiyat, the patience that is seen in them, and the height of Iman, height of faith. Iman, it is that greatest, the best of blessings that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has given to us. There are billions on the surface of this earth. Countless, numerous favors and blessings of Allah are there. But the best of all of those blessings is the blessing of Iman. And in the month of Ramadan, in all of the du'as that you recite, especially the du'as that are recited at night, in the nocturnal du'as, one of the things that you ask the Almighty is, Allahumma inni as'aluka al-iman bik. Iman, faith. After that dua, Abu Hamza, that lengthy dua, you ask for Iman. And you ask that Iman not be seized away from us at any point in our life. Just like the other blessings He has given to us, blessing of life, blessing of health, blessing of wealth, blessing of children. They can be taken away from us at any point, any moment, if He wills, if He desires. Like that is Iman. Iman also can be taken away. We have to pray to the Almighty Allah that this Iman is with us until we depart. Now in all of these du'as that we have, there's a du'a from Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam, it's called du'a Ghariq. And that is, Ya Allahu, Ya Rahmanu, Ya Rahim, Ya Muqallib al-Qulub, Thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Allah, keep my deen, my religion, keep me firm on your religion. So that is something that Imam asks. That is something that Amirul Mu'mineen asks. Now there, in that khutbah Sha'baniyah of Rasulullah, when he recites, and then all of a sudden after the delivery of the khutbah, the Prophet, he bursts into tears. Amirul Mu'mineen says, Ya Rasulullah, what makes you cry? He says, I cry for what is going to unfold in this month and on you. Imam says, what is that will unfold and what is that's going to happen to me? He says, I see your beard drenched in your own blood. The first question Amirul Mu'mineen asks Rasulullah is, Afi salamatin min dini? Is my deen going to be intact on that moment? That is, when I'm leaving from this dunya. Not an ordinary person, Amirul Mu'mineen. He is the Amir and the master of every believer. That what he is worried of is his deen. Is it going to be on deen? Prophet Ibrahim, his instructions to every one of us, instructions of every Imam, every Prophet is, La tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. You must not die, but that you are a Muslim. That is, you have to die faithful. So faith, it's that first thing that will be inquired. And when we are put in our graves, when we recite that talqeen, talqeen is also a reminder of faith. So this is what you believed in the one God, you believed in the prophethood of Rasulullah, in all of the angels, in all the prophets, in all the imams, in the book, in the Qibla. So that is the reminder of faith that we have. One of the things that helps us bond and strengthen our iman is the book of Allah, Quran. It has numerous ayats. Some of the ayat of Quran, they've got the Ism Azam, or that secret code embedded in them. Among those ayat is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Among them is Ayatul Kursi. Among them is Suratul Hamd. Among them the last 5 ayat of Suratul Hashr. So all these are beautiful ayat wherein that Ism Azam, it is hidden. Ism Azam, it's not a word, it is not a symbol, it is not a character. It's a secret, like these passwords we have. You tap and it works. How it works, we don't know, but there is some connection between that transaction and that communication which makes it happen. So like that, or multiply that by infinity, are these Ism Azam. One of the kings during the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen, he is afflicted with severe headaches. All the best of physicians, they come, they are invited to treat the king. Nothing could be done. The message is delivered to Amir al-Mu'mineen that you can do something for his headache. Imam, he gives a cap and says, get this delivered to him and tell him to wear it. He wears the cap and the headache is gone. He got amazed. How come just a cap could do what these doctors and physicians could not do? One day he ripped it open, the cap, and he sees a little note in the cap. On it is written, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So it is that Bismillah that Amir al-Mu'mineen had written, which had that miraculous effect. Like that, Ayatul Kursi. It is the ayah number 256 of the Holy Quran. And according to the opinion of most of the ulama, you recite that Ayatul Kursi, the first ayah, that will suffice, which has 50 words looking into the riwayat. Some are of the opinion that you recite both the ayat until hum fiha khalidun. So in your prayers, in like for example Salat Wahshat, or there are some prayers where you need to recite them multiple times. If you recite it until Ali al-Azim also, that is going to be fine. If you could do it until hum fiha khalidun, it's even much better. We have all gathered here to mourn Hazrat Zahra, Salamullahi alayha. We will seek help from her to try and understand what these ayats mean. And whenever you can, recite these ayat, because this tongue that we have, it has to get used to these ayats. They have to be uttered, they have to be recited. We have to verbalize them. Sometimes people, they just put it on a repeat mode and they just listen to it. Yeah, listening is good. But main aim is that you have to recite, I have to recite, I have to verbalize. That qawl has to be there. In Quran, when people wanted to get forgiven, and after the victory of Mecca, when they come to Mecca, here the ayah is revealed, says, Qulu la ilaha illallah tuflihu. That is, you have to say, verbalize La ilaha illallah if you want prosperity, if you want to be forgiven. Or talqeen, also over there you remind, you make yourself, make that person who is on the deathbed repeat after you. Or when a person is laid in his grave, hadith from our 6th Imam says that Munkir and Nakir, they come. And then when that talqeen is recited, they say, let's go. They say, we haven't inquired, he hasn't been laid. They say, there's nothing to be inquired now. قَدْ لُقِّنَ حُجَّتُهُ. The reminder of faith has already been given to him. He knows the answers now. So that talqeen is required. When you shake that marhum and you say, Isma ifham, that is listen and understand, means he can listen, he can understand. And we are making him understand that these are the questions that will be asked and this is the answer to them. Ayatul Kursi, when you look into the statements of Ma'asumeen alayhimus salam, says that it is the light in the skies. When you recite Ayatul Kursi, it enlightens the skies. It is the treasure from the throne of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. When you are traveling, recite it. It will be a means of protection. Every now and then, every other day, people they call, they say that someone has casted these black magics on us. We've been afflicted with jinn, with what and what not. No one gets afflicted. No jinn is so much without any work that he wants to come and cast his rage on us. No one does anything. It's all these 1-800 numbers, Babas that have come into the market. They want to make money. That's how they deceive. You want protection? Ayatul Kursi. You want protection? Suratul Nas, Suratul Falaq. This is what the over-the-counter prescriptions you will find from the Ma'asumeen alayhimus salam. Rasulullah, he used to recite Ayatul Kursi when he used to go to bed. Says that if you recite this Ayatul Kursi, you will never be afflicted. For financial matters, Ayatul Kursi. You want to be aided and helped by Allah, Ayatul Kursi. So Ayatul Kursi, another hadith, it says that من قرأ آية الكرسي عند منامه لم يخف الفالج إن شاء الله ومن قرأها بعد كل صلاة لم يضره ذو حمى. That is, you recite Ayatul Kursi, you will not be paralyzed, your body will be safe. Recite Ayatul Kursi from all these afflictions. You want nur in your eyes, you want to be your eye health to be good, Ayatul Kursi. And it is a trend, a practice among the ulama, that after they recite Ayatul Kursi, their prayers, they place their two hands on their eyes and recite Ayatul Kursi 3 times, 7 times, however many times you can, at least once. That Ayatul Kursi, it's a protection for your eyes. So all of these benefits we see from Ayatul Kursi and also in the statements of Ma'asumeen. Elsewhere, in a quote from the Holy Prophet says, Man qara'a, says that إذا قرأ المؤمن آية الكرسي وجعل ثواب قراءته لأهل القبور. That is, if you go to a graveyard. Now Ayatul Kursi, it has 50 words in it. Now when you go to a graveyard and you recite that Ayatul Kursi, for every letter of that ayah, Allah creates 2 angels. One for you, one for that marhum. So if you intend your marhumeen, all of them, or if you want to be smart, you recite 1 Ayatul Kursi for all the marhumeen, from the first to the last. How many billion, we don't know. That many billion angels times 2 will be created. One will seek forgiveness for you, the other for that marhumeen until the day of judgment. This is the word of Rasulullah, and Rasulullah, he never lies. Whatever he says is wahi, is haqq. So the first ayah of this Ayatul Kursi says, Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. It is Allah. Who is he? La ilaha illa huwa. There is no God but him. It is him. Huwal hayyul qayyum. Hayy means living. Qayyum means the sustainer. So everything in this grand creation of Allah that you see is sustained by Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So my faith in that one God is such, He who is only one, who doesn't depend on anyone, who doesn't rely on anyone, the stronger your faith is in Allah, the stronger our position will be in this world. Now you see these mu'mineen in Palestine being killed day in, day out. The only thing they have, it's this support system and in the Almighty Allah. Otherwise, materially, they don't have anything, not even the basic means to survive. What is making them so strong? It is that belief system. Says that Allahu ma'ana, and Allah says, Allah takhafu wa la tahzanu. You don't be afraid, you don't be grieved, because Allahu ma'ana, Allah is with us. So the stronger the support system, the stronger the help from there will also be. So, in Quran says that Allah takhafu tatanazzalu alayhimul malaika. You be with God, you get help from God. How will you get that help? If you have faith in Him. The more the faith, the more the help. Allah says, you be with me, angels will descend on you. I will send the angels to you. They will help you. Angels will be your support system. Hazrat Maryam was ousted from the masjid. No one was there in her support. Hazrat Hajar was in Mecca. Husband was away. She with her infant all alone. She was helped because she had that faith in Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Hazrat Zahra Salamullahi alayha. It's her height of Iman in the existence of Allah, and that is that support that Allah gives her. So the more we believe in the Almighty, the more we are helped, we are aided by the Almighty Allah Jalla wa Ala. Now, because of the word kursi in this ayah, Ayatul Kursi, wasi'a kursiyyuhu samawati wal ard. So Rasulullah, he named this ayah Ayatul Kursi. It's because the word kursi has been mentioned in these ayah, in this Ayatul Kursi. Now, La ilaha illa huwa, or elsewhere in Quran we have La ilaha illa hu, La ilaha illa anta, La ilaha illa ana. So all these are different variations of that slogan of Tawheed that we have in Quran. There is no God but Allah. So first, you negate every deity, you negate every godhood, and then you say the only God is Allah. Now the word Allah, it is that name of the Almighty Allah which has all the attributes and sifat of the Almighty embedded in it. Lam in Allah is called Lam-e Jalala. That is why you have to pronounce it with a heavy mouth, Allah. Allah you write in whichever language, in English, in Japanese, in Chinese, in Urdu, in Farsi, whichever language you write, you cannot touch it without tahara. That the name is, it's that, the sanctity it holds, it's great. So you cannot touch the name of Allah without tahara in no matter what language you have written. Now the Almighty Allah, He has attributes and qualities. 3 of them now, you must be teaching them to your children here. Sifat Subutiya, Sifat Salbiya. Subutiya are those names of the Almighty, like the quality of ilm, the attribute of hayat, the attribute of might and power in the Almighty Allah. Now for me, I have an existence of my own, and this might to do things was given to me at a later stage. I did not have it. I existed, but then hayat wasn't there. Hayat was blown into me at the age of 3 months in my mother's womb. And likewise, the abilities that I have were given to me as a top-up at a later age. Now these abilities my existence plus ilm, plus qudrat, plus hayat are three top-ups that were given to me. For the existence of Allah, when I say Allah means someone who is living. Allah, someone who is mighty. Allah, someone who is all living. So that is the all knowing. So for Allah, these are part of His existence. For me, they are not part of my existence, a top up to my existence. A stroke and I've lost everything. I don't have anything. I have an existence, but I don't have that ability to talk, to move, to understand, to think, because it's a top up. So when I say Allah, means all of the attributes are in Him. Allah who is compassionate. When I say compassionate, means Allah. When I say Rahman, it means Allah. When I say Allah, it means Rahman. Allah means Alim. Allah means Qadir. Qadir, Allah. So it's all one package. Now when you look into Quran, it says Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. It is Allah who is all living and who is the sustainer of everything. So we have to verbalize these ayats. They have to be uttered with our tongue. Not that I just know it, I've read it, I'm reading it from Quran. No, make your tongue also be part of your reciting. That tongue has to move. In azkar, the tongue has to move. Just moving the beads is not enough. When you say that you have to recite tasbih of Hazrat Fatima alayha salam after your prayers, means you have to make your tongue also move with the counting of the beads from that sabha, from that tasbih. So, people during the time of Prophet Musa, they had done wrong. They said that Musa, forgive us. Prophet Musa says, okay. Allah reveals to Prophet Musa, a door be made. And they come by the door and they say, Hittatun. Hittatun means like astaghfirullah that we have for all the wrong that we have done. So Bani Israel, they used to come to that gate. They used to stand there and say, Hittatun. That all the wrong that we have done has been forgiven, shed. Wrong is removed. So they had to verbalize it. The same way when these kuffar were entering Mecca, because Rasulullah was ousted from Mecca. He was weak at that time, but now that Prophet is returning, he has an ummah, a nation with him. He has a rule in Medina. So Prophet is established in these 11 years. They say that we did all that bad to him. He's going to avenge, and we will be the losers here. They thought that Rasulullah will enter and there's going to be a massacre, a bloodshed. And they had a slogan saying that Al-Yawm Yawmul Malhama. Today is the day of slaughter. Rasulullah changed the slogan. He says Al-Yawm Yawmul Marhama. Today is the day of mercy. Al-Yawm A'azzallah Quraisha. Today Allah gave honor to Quraysh. He says, say, La ilaha illallah, you will be forgiven. They said, La ilaha illallah, all of them were forgiven. That was a general amnesty. Among those who said that, La ilaha illallah, is Abu Sufyan and Hind, and they also got forgiven by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So when I say Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum, Hayy is living. What kind of a living is He? He lives from ever and He lives forever. For me, I started living at a certain point and I will cease from living at a certain point when I die. Allah never dies. If you want to know what Hayy is, one of the best places that you can look into is Dua Joshan Kabir, which is again a word of Allah. In one of the segments of the Dua Joshan, segment number 70, there says, Ya Hayyan Qabla Kulli Hayy. Living, who was living before everything living. Ya Hayyan Ba'da Kulli Hayy. O living who will continue living after every living. Everything will die, but Allah will be living. Ya Hayyul Ladhi laysa kamithlihi hayy. O living, like him, there is no living. It is only him, unique. So when you say, Lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad, no one is like him in his living. No one is like him in his ilm, in his knowledge, in his abilities, in his might. In all the attributes that you see in Quran or in this surah, in this dua Joshan Kabir, no one is like Allah. Lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. No one is like him. So we have to try and understand what these surahs say, what the ayat say. That way, that iman will also elevate. Now, one of the clips that you might have seen last week, this Lebanese lady, she says that I was in my car with 3 of my daughters and my mother. So 5 people on board the car. And one of these missiles was hit onto her car. 3 of her daughters and her mother. Instantly they died. The car caught fire. Now this lady is stuck under the wheel, the driving wheel. Hands are severed, bleeding. She is not weeping. She says, I see the car in blaze. It's set on fire. But that's not an ordinary fire. I see like Ya nar kuni bardan wa salaman ala Ibrahim. That is, that fire, it's like that fire that was cooled down on Prophet Ibrahim. She says, I see my daughters and my mother, they are elevating, ascending to a very better place. How do you get to that rank? It is that iman, that faith. How do you get to that faith? By these ayats, by knowing them, by understanding them. And throughout that 3-4 minutes interview that she's giving on that hospital bed, not one place did he complain. She talks so loud about Hazrat Fatima. She talks so loud about Hazrat Zainab. So these are all sincere servants of the Ahlul Bayt who have been raised and nurtured and taught by the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt, that they get to this rank, that no matter what affliction downpours upon them, that still connection is still there with the Almighty Allah. That is that height of iman that we see. Ya Hayyu Ladhi La Yusharikuhu Hayy. In the life of the existence of Allah, no one can be a sharik. When you say that, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. So we talk about shirk and say that you shouldn't be a mushrik. So even in these attributes and qualities of Allah, we don't find anyone who can be a match or a partner or a sharik to Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. In his hayat also, it is the same. Ya hayyul ladhi la yahtaju ila hayy. O living who does not need any living. For me to live, I need Allah to give me life. So I depend on him to continue living. But God, he doesn't need anyone to live, nor to continue to live. That dependency you see over here, lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. Or when you say Allahu samad, means someone who doesn't depend on anyone whatsoever, in any manner. So that is how you have to look into Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. He who is all living and who is the sustainer of anything. Now, Ya hayyan lam yarith al hayata min al hayy. Now for me to continue to live, I need a generation. That generation, they get their life from me. But Allah, he doesn't get his life from anyone, because he is not begotten from anyone, nor anyone begets from him. Nor is he born from anyone, nor is anyone born from him. So that inheritance of life doesn't count, doesn't include the Almighty Allah Jalla wa Ala. Ya Hayyul Ladhi Yuhyil Mawta. He is that living who gives hayat to every dead. We can't do that. We cannot bring anything that has passed away into life. Impossible. But He resurrects. On the day of judgment, after the second horn that will be blown, we believe that 2 horns will be blown. Now, when you look into the social media nowadays, they say that it is the end of time. It is not the end of time. That is for sure. Because we believe Imam Mahdi has to return. And after the return of Imam al-Asr, we have Raj'at. They are the good and the bad who will return. And after the rule of the Imams alayhimus salam on the surface of this earth, we will have the day of judgment. So when we say in dua faraj, وَتُمَتِّعَهُ فِيهَا طَوِيلًا, that you are praying that Imam, he rules on this earth for a long time. So after that long time will be the day of judgment. So Imam hasn't arrived yet. His rule hasn't been established yet. So the day of judgment will be also after that. So when you see or hear that it's the signs of the day of judgment, it's not the signs of the day of judgment. It's the signs of the return of the Imam alayhi salam, inshallah. And we will all see, we will all witness, and we ask Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala to enlist us all among the best of those who served Him, among the best of His servants, and our children in particular. Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La Ta'khudhuhu Sinatun Wala Nawm. Ya Hayy means that living Almighty. Ya Qayyum is He who is the sustainer. Now when you look into this Ayatul Kursi, we've got this term Qayyum. Qayyum means He is the sustainer. So everyone's sustainability or existence relies upon the existence of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. One of the recitals that we have to make this tongue verbalize a lot is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum. Some of the mu'mineen, when they want to say their prayers, when they want to rise, like we say, Bihawlillah wa quwwatihi aqumu wa aqa'ud, they say, Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, and they stand. You can do that as well if you want. Now, these azkar, we forget them. When I say Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, maybe a few will remember, a few will repeat. But some things we have to have them in our daily program. One of the ways is if you have a tawassul with Abul Fazl al-Abbas alayhi salam. The way how you do it is you offer a 2-rakat prayer. After Surah Al-Hamd, you recite Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum 400 times in the first rakat. Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum after Surah Al-Hamd in the second rakat. So over here you've performed a prayer. You've got connected to Abul Fazl al-Abbas alayhi salam. At the same time, you've verbalized this Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum so many times. Ayatul Kursi also, if you don't recite that so often, one of the ways how you can make yourself do it, because we have to train this body. With practice, everything becomes perfect. What you can do is that you've got so many people dying every day, mu'mineen. After your Isha prayers, you offer a 2-rakat namaz-e-wahshat randomly for mu'mineen who have passed away today. In that namaz-e-wahshat, you have 1 Suratul Hamd, 1 Ayatul Kursi. In the second rakat, 1 Suratul Hamd, time 10, Suratul Qadr. So this way, you have offered prayers, you have verbalized the Ayatul Kursi, and you have got connected with so many marhumeen. One of the ulama, Marhum Sultan Abadi, it was his practice that he used to recite namaz-e-wahshat for people who used to die just randomly. One of the mu'mineen in Najaf, he passes away. Now the son sees the father after his burial and says, how are you? He says, I was doomed to be in a difficult way, difficult state. But the prayers offered by Sultan Abadi, they saved me. Now the son, he doesn't know who that person is. And then he comes on inquiring, is there any alim here in town with this name? They say, yes. Comes to and sees him in the haram of Amirul Mu'mineen. Says, did you offer a namaz-e-wahshat for my father yesterday. He says, I don't know who your father is. I was here in the haram, the bodies were brought and were being laid to rest. I offered a 2-rakat prayer for that marhum. I don't know who he was. Now marhum from Barzakh says to the son that the prayers offered by this alim saved me. So this connection between us and the marhumin, it never breaks. Now what this Wahhabi lot is afraid of, they say a person who has died, that's the end. There's nothing after his death. For us, everything is after death. Life starts after death. So that life after death that we have, it is the iman in that khulud, iman in that eternal life. You will never get to that eternal life unless we have departed from this dunya. Unless we die, we will not get to that eternal life. So this connection with that marhum was via this prayer. So we also can apply that onto ourselves, that add something on a daily basis. After every few years as we grow, something has to be topped up. When you get married, add something to your daily program. When you are blessed with a child, another thing. When again you grow up or something is given to you, add something on a daily and a regular basis so that this connection with the Almighty Allah also, it intensifies, it strengthens on a daily basis. One of the ways is with this namaz-e-wahshat. So, qayyum means someone who is the sustainer, and it is derived from qiyam. Qiyam means to stand, to rise. So everything that is established or everything that you see stationed, it's by the qiyam of the existence of the Almighty Allah. That is the qaymumiyat of the Almighty. Everything is intact. Everything is in place. So that is Hayyul Qayyum. The next ayah says, La ta'khuzuhu sinatun wala nawm. That again is my faith. That again is my iman. I believe in Allah who never sleeps, who never slumbers, who never yawns, who is never disconnected from me. One of the qualities that we say are required in an imam is that he has to be ma'soom, he has to be infallible. Infallibility in ma'soom means that he doesn't sin knowingly or unknowingly anywhere in his life from the day he is born until the day he dies. And the imam, he does not forget anything. So even if the imam is asleep, doesn't mean that he is disconnected from everything. No, he is not. Rasulullah, he never forgets. Rasulullah, he doesn't commit any wrong. Rasulullah, he does not commit any error. So when you understand deen, you have to understand with a broader perspective. Now one of the stories that is mentioned from the members, you might have heard. They say that Rasulullah in the last days of his life, he comes and he says to the people that now soon I will be departing. And if I have done anything wrong to anyone, this is the time I seek forgiveness, you also forgive me. Now they say that one of the persons who was present in Masjid al-Nabi, he says, yes, Ya Rasulullah. One day when we were riding a camel, you were on your camel and I was also escorting you. You lashed your camel and the whip accidentally hit me and I got hurt on my back and I want revenge. Says, what do you want? Says, I want to lash you, Ya Rasulullah. And the story is like that Rasulullah, he uncovers his shoulder, he comes and kisses. He says, I just wanted to see the seal of prophethood on your shoulder to kiss. Now this whole story is wrong. When you say that Rasulullah does not commit any mistake, means he doesn't lash someone and accidentally it hits you. So the whole thing is false. So Rasulullah, he never commits any error, any wrong, any mistake, knowingly, unknowingly, in his sleep, when he is awake. So that is how you have to understand things. When you say, La ta'khuzuhu sinatu wala naum, Allah never sleeps, Allah never yawns, Allah never slumbers. So, he is always there. Now, lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ardh. To him belongs whatever is in the skies and in the earth. Samawat, it's the plural of sama. Now, samawat, we think the skies that we see are what exist. Now, whatever we see, it's within the first sky. There is a second, there is a third, there is a fourth. There are so many skies that human being, whatever he has got to, it is within the first sky. What is above, we don't know. There are skies, we don't know. There are earths, not just one earth, there are 7 earths, we don't know. In this dua that you recite in Zohr, you say, La ilaha illallah al-halimul kareem. La ilaha illallah al-aliyyul azim. Subhanallah, Rabbis samawati sab'a. That is, glory belongs to Allah, who is the Lord of the 7 skies. And then, Rabbil aradina sab'a, and he is the Lord of the 7 earths. So it's not this one earth that we are on, there are 7 earths. Riwayat, they state that from these 7 earths, 2 of them, they haven't been inhabited, 5 of them they are. But we don't know. Human being, they don't know. Because the knowledge that we have, it's so limited, so restricted, we can't understand much. Now, whatever we have understood till now, it's just a small fraction, 2 out of 27. Now, if, for example, Imam is to return tomorrow in 2024, now what he will do is that he will bless the mankind, humanity with his Mubarak hand, and the knowledge and the understanding they have, it's going to multiply by 27. So whatever we know until now, all this technology that we have, it's going to massively increase. During the time of Imam alayhi salam, what we find is there's going to be travel, fast, supersonic, not only on this surface of this earth, beyond, it's going to be space travel. So between planets, there's going to be travel. So all of that requires technology and knowledge that's going to be vast. When is that going to be? During the time of the Imam alayhi salam. So that knowledge is vast. Now, lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. Whatever is in the skies and the earth belongs to him. Whatever. Everything is his. Izzat that I have is his. Life that I have is his. Wealth that I have is his. Whatever is in the skies and the earth belongs to him. So when everything belongs to him, nothing is mine, everything is his. Strength, if you want, you have to get it from Allah. Honor, if you want, you have to get it from Allah. That is why you see that people with nothing in their hand, they become so strong. Why? Because for myself, in these du'as that we recite after the ta'aqibat, we say that La amliku linnafsi naf'an, wala dharran, wala mautan, wala hayatan, wala nushura. God, I have presented myself before you. Now who am I? I don't have maut. I don't have hayat. I don't have any loss. I don't have any benefit. Nothing is mine. I don't have anything. Everything is you. Everything is yours. So we have to have that mindset that lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. Everything belongs to Allah. If someone, he has been blessed with wealth, if he's giving something, it's not his. It is that was given to him by the Almighty as a tool, and he has to give it forward. He has to give it to others. So that is, in everything that is given to us, there is a shareholder in it. And I have to give that to those shareholders who are there. If it is knowledge, it has to be given. If it is wealth, it has to be given. A person comes to Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam. He says, Yabna Rasulullah, you say generosity, you have to give. How much do I give? I've got a lot of wealth. What Imam does, he bends down, he picks some sand, and he says that this sand in my hand, if I open my hand like that, it's all going to fall apart. And then says, don't be extravagant in giving. That is, when you want to give, don't give everything away. Says, how much do I give? Imam picks the sand up again. Now he doesn't close his fist tightly. He doesn't say, don't be like that. Don't be tight-fisted as well in giving, that you don't give anything. Imam loosely ties his fist, and from between the fingers, you've got all those grains of sand that are pouring down, but very slowly. Imam says, in giving like that, give whatever you can, which is, and Quran says that don't be as such that you give away everything and you sit idle and you have nothing over here. So in giving also there are adab, there are etiquettes to observe, and unless you are connected with the Ahlul Bayt, we will never get to know any of it. Ahlul Bayt, they are the ones who have educated us, who have connected us with Allah. Now whatever is being said, it's from the school of Ahlul Bayt. They nurtured us, they taught us, they educated us, and they are the Shuhada. Shaheed is living. Whichever Shaheed. Now they are the best of Shuhada. Quran says, La tahsabanna alladhina qutilu fi sabilillahi amwata. Never assume that those who have died in the way of Allah, they are dead. They are not dead, they are alive. So all of these Shuhada that you see day in, day out, they are living. They are seeing, they are watching, they are still connected. Their du'as are still there. If you want your hajat granted, you can give them to one of these Shuhada and say that this is the Suratul Hamd, I'm gifting it to you. This is the problem that I have, you ease it. Now if you see Ahlul Bayt can do so much because they are the best of Shuhada. The reason why these Wahhabi lots are afraid of all the Aimma, now if you go to Baqi, it's an Imam who is Shaheed, who is buried in the grave. So what can he do? But they are afraid. If it is Rasulullah in Masjidun Nabi, buried in his grave, they are afraid. If it is the 12th Imam they are scared of, he also is ghaib, but still they are afraid. So it is that strength of imamat, كُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْسَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. Everything is in the Imam. May that Imam be in ghaibat, may that Imam be in his grave, may that be living in front of you. In all cases, it is the Imam who will provide everything to you. So, لَهُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. And the next ayah says that everything belongs to Allah, whatever is in the skies and in the earth. مَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يَشْفَعُ عِنْدَهُ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِهِ. Now we believe in the concept of shafa'at. Shafa'at means interceding. Intercession or mediation of an imam, of a ma'soom, does not mean that I do not do anything and Imam is just going to bail me out. He will not. When you buy these electric products here, you've got an extended warranty. You take that extended warranty for 3 years, 4 years, and it does include accidental damage. But if you go and tell them that I smashed the TV and I want you to give me another one, they say, no, I won't do it. It's accidental damage that is covered, not an intentional damage. You hit your car, you smash your car, and then you say to your insurers to give, they won't give. So it has to be an accidental damage for them to cover. In this in the amal that we do also, it's that accidental damage that we do. If we do something knowingly, intentionally, that is difficult to be covered. In shafa'at, if I've got some money with me, like for example, I want to buy a TV, I've got $1,000 on my card. The TV is $1,400. I call my bank, I say I'm short with these $400. If my credit rating was good, they will increase and I'll buy the TV. If I don't have anything on the card, nothing in my pocket, I can't even buy that TV. So shafaat is like that. Something has to be with me and I need a top-up. That top-up will be covered, will be provided by the ma'asumeen alayhimus salam. Man zal ladhi yashfa'u indahu illa bi'iznih. Says that, is there anyone who will intercede with him except with his permission? In intercession also, Allah's permission is required. This Wahhabi lot says that it's shirk that you ask the Prophet and the Prophet has to help you. It's not shirk. Allah has given that authority to Rasulullah. Allah has authorized the Imams with that authority. So when in Ayatul Kursi says, Man zal ladhi yashfa'u indahu illa bi'iznih, that izn and the authority to intercede has been given by Allah to the Imams. If you want to get your problem solved and you come to the door of Ahlul Bayt and you say, Ya wajihana indallah, ishfa' lana indallah, so that wajih or that designation is given to the Imam, to Hazrat Fatima by Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Says in Quran that wasila that has been mentioned in Quran. Imam was inquired, our sixth Imam says, what is this wasila in Quran? Imam says, Nahnu wallah al-wasila fil Quran. By God, we the Ahlul Bayt are the wasila. We are the ones who Allah has promised and who has mentioned as those who can intercede. So, man zal ladhi yashfa'u indahu illa bi'iznih, who is it that may intercede with him? And that is also again with the permission of the Almighty Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Now the next ayah says that يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُم. Allah, He knows everything. Now when we said that Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum, Allah who is the only God and there is no one but Him, is the one who is living, is the one who is the sustainer, Hayy and Qayyum. Now in that Allah, it was mentioned, He knows, He lives, He has got that power, He's got that might. In this ayah says, Ya'lamu, He knows whatever is before you, whatever is behind you, whatever is above you, whatever is below you, whatever you think of, all of that is with Allah. There is nothing in this grand creation of Allah that happens accidentally. You see these dry leaves fall from the tree. You think it's just the spring season. As a result of this autumn, they have to fall. No, even that measure has been calculated by Allah. Where that dry leaf drops, when it drops, how it drops. Now sometimes when you go to the lakes, you see all these dry leaves in the lakes. Sometimes you see insects in those leaves. So those dry leaves fell somewhere. They become a haven and a boat for those insects who are trapped somewhere in the middle of a rock. They become a means of survival for that insect and it is brought to the shore to be safe. That is Allah. Ya'lamu, He knows. Ma bayna aydihim wa ma khalfahum. He knows everything. He makes the arrangements. So never assume that Allah has forgotten. Allah never forgets. La ta'khuzuhu sinatun wa la nawm. Sometimes people, when they get frustrated and out of depression and anxiety, they say, Allah has forgotten us. That is shirk. You don't say that. Allah never forgets. Now, Prophet Sulaiman, he says that Prophet Dawood, he says that I was at the seashore and I see a frog come by the shore. And the frog opens its mouth and the long tongue rolls out. An ant with a little seed gets into the mouth of the frog. And the frog returns after some time, and he sees he's doing this every now and then. Prophet Dawood says, what were you doing? He says that the Almighty Allah has hired me, has instructed me for this task. I come here, I open my mouth, roll out my tongue, the ant with the seed gets into my tongue, I go down, deep down into the lake, there is a rock. In the rock there is an insect that is trapped. I go to the opening of that rock, the ant goes in, delivers this seed, and it comes out, and I have to go for the next turn. Now here Prophet Dawood says that, have you ever heard what that insect in the rock is saying? He says, yes. I heard that insect say that, O God, the Almighty, who never forgets me trapped deep down in this lake, in the rock, and who provides me, who nurtures me. Rizq is given by you, to me. So Allah, He never forgets. He provides every one of my asatid in Qom. He said that, now you've seen these honeybees. Honeybees, they sit on flowers, and from there that nectar is sucked out. He says, I saw this honeybee come on a pile of grains of wheat, and comes and takes this wheat and goes and comes back. I was just amazed to see. Bees, they never eat grains. How come this one is doing? He says, I follow this bee and I see that it comes to a wall, and behind the wall there is a nest, and in the nest there is a blind pigeon. So this honeybee is taking the grains of wheat for that blind pigeon. So how did the bee know that the pigeon wants that? يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُمْ. He knows. He provides. So we have to have that iman, that if anything happens to us, we haven't been stranded. He never leaves us stranded. He provides. Zulm also, there is an expiration date to it. Allah, He never lets this zalim, the oppressor, do whatever he wants. When he presses, when the time comes, it's gone. All that oppression will be seized away. Every Mazloom will be given whatever they have to be given, their rights to them. يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُمْ وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْمِّ until the end. Inshallah, we'll continue this. Hazrat Fatima, Salamullahi alayha. One day she comes to Rasulullah and says, Abata, I was reminded of the day of judgment, the horror of the day of judgment, and how everyone will be standing uncovered, naked, urat yawm al-qiyamah. ذكرت المحشر ووقوف الناس عرات يوم القيامة. قال, Rasulullah comforts his daughter. Now who is this Fatima? Not an ordinary person. When you say Rahmatun lil Alameen to Rasulullah, that he is the mercy to the worlds, Fatima, when in this hadith qissa that you just recited, Rasulullah says, Fatima is part of me. Part of me does not mean that part of his biological existence. That's one side of it, one small side of it. That Fatima is the biological side of Rasulullah's existence. When he says that Fatima bad'atum minni, part of me, that part of me, if I am rahmatun lil alameen, she is also rahmatun lil alameen. So all those attributes and qualities that Allah has given to the Prophet, she is also a stakeholder in all of them. Now here Rasulullah says, then when she is worried of the day of judgment, says, Ya bunayya, innahu layawmun azim, walakin qad akhbarani Jibreel an Allah azza wa jal qal. Says, it is going to be a great day. But for you, Zahra, you have a special designation on that day of judgment. He continues with this hadith and says that on the day of horror, when in the entire existence, that scenes of mahshar, the day of judgment is just one day, Yawmul Qiyamah. How long is the duration of that day? Quran says, خَمْسِينَ أَلْفَ sana, 50,000 years. So 50,000 years, one day. And in that one day, he will take the account from everyone. And he will take it instantly and very fast. In Quran, many times it has been mentioned, Sari'ul Hisab. He takes an account quick. How long will it be for me? How long will it be for you? Our sixth Imam says, the amount of time you spent in your wajib prayers, that is the amount and the duration of your standing on the day of judgment. It doesn't mean that you have to be fast in saying your prayers. No. Take your time, offer your prayers properly. So those proper prayers that you offered, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, that is the duration of your stay on the day of judgment. Says that on the day of judgment, when the entire mankind, entire creation will be present, billions, from the first person until the last person. All of the prophets, 124,000 will be present. Every imam will be present. All the angels will be present. People, good, bad, and everyone will be there, faithful, faithless. Says that Hazrat Zahra will appear on the scenes of mahshar. A mimbar will be placed. Now this mimbar has 3 steps. That mimbar for her will have 7 steps. And she will be made to sit on the topmost seat of that mimbar. Hadith says that on a ride she will come. The reins of this ride with 70,000 angels on the right, 70,000 angels on the left, and from ahead as well. And the reins of all of these angels will be in the hands of Jibreel. Jibreel is that malak, that angel who delivers all the assignments and all the books to Prophet Ibrahim, to Prophet Musa, to Prophet Isa, and to Rasulullah. Quran was given by Jibreel to the Prophet. So the reins of all of these rides, of all of these angels, will be in the hands of Jibreel. Now, the ride that she is on, here says that yura dhahiruha min batiniha. You can see this ride, the exterior of it from the inside of it, the inside of it from the outside of it. Says that outer shell of this ride is rahmatullah, is the mercy of Allah. The inner self of this ride is ghufranullah, forgiveness of Allah. So Zahra is emerging on the scenes of mahshar, means an existence of all mercy and forgiveness. Now when she appears there, the caller says, غُضُّوا أَبْصَارَكُمْ, lower your sights, heads down. Not because she is a non-mahram, because in the akhirah, no mahram and non-mahram. It is the daughter of Rasulullah, that is that height of honor and the protocol that Allah has, that honor has to be observed, all eyes, all heads lowered, because it is Fatima who is emerging. Now, there Hazrat Fatima, Allah says, Zahra, do you have a wish? She says, yes. What is your wish? Says, I want to see my Hassan and my Hussein. Imam Hassan and Hussein will be presented before the scenes of mahshar. Here hadith says that Hussein will be presented like on the day of Ashura, headless, with the veins and arteries of his neck all evident. Says on that she screams, she cries, and the entire mahshar will faint. So Hazrat Zahra, her wish to see Imam Hussein, and there says that God, these zalimeen who oppressed Hussein, they have to be avenged. That revenge will be taken from all of these zalimeen who stood against the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Now Hazrat Zahra alayha salam, see she on her deathbed. Now here the reporters, they say that Amirul Mu'mineen at that time is 30 years, a young man. Imam Hassan and Hussein 5 and 6, Zainab 5 years old, 6 and 7 Imam Hassan and Hussein, Kulsum 4 years old. Mohsen is killed because he was attacked. There says that Amirul Mu'mineen is in the masjid of Rasulullah. Now those of you who've been to Medina, and the house of Hazrat Zahra is a very short distance from the grave of Rasulullah, 20 meters. And the age of Hazrat Fatima is 18 when she is martyred, she is killed. Amirul Mu'mineen is given the news that Zahra, her health is deteriorating. Imam, he stands to rush home. His abba gets tangled in his feet. Reporters, they say that Imam Ali, this strong being, this brave existence who never lost, who fought the battles of Badr and Hunayn and Uhud and Khandaq and always was the victorious, says that he stood, his abba gets tangled in his feet and he falls to the ground on his face. Says for the second time it happens, and here rushes home, comes to Hazrat Zahra, puts his amama away, sits by Hazrat Zahra. Here says that she, with her broken, fractured hand, she sees Amirul Mu'mineen in tears. She comes, brings her hands onto the eyes of Amirul Mu'mineen, wipes his tears, and then wipes his tears onto her own chest. Amirul Mu'mineen says, Zahra, what were you doing? She says, my father had said that the tears of a Mazloom, they are tabarruk. Says, there is no one more Mazloom than you, Ya Ali. There is no one Mazloom, more Mazloom than you, Ya Ali. She wipes the tears of Amirul Mu'mineen on her chest. Now here she says that in the last days of her life, Abbas is the uncle of Rasulullah. He comes and says that, Ali, I haven't seen Zahra since she has fallen sick. Allow me to come. Imam gets the permission, informs Hazrat Zahra that uncle is coming. Now Zahra alayha salam, she asks, gets help from Asma and Fizza. She gets dressed and then she doesn't want to be on her back lying when the uncle comes in. She says that take me near the wall, I can rest and sit up when my uncle is here. And wears a yellow scarf, yellow head cover. Abbas, he says that I come, I sit in that room, and I could not sit for more than a few moments when I saw Zahra. That is it, that headscarf that she is wearing more pale, or it is Zahra's face that is even more pale? I saw how she had shrunk and how she had deteriorated in his health. I moved. In these last days, the Khulafa, Abu Bakr and Umar, they send a message to Amirul Mu'mineen and they come say that we want to come and see the daughter of the Prophet. And here Imam comes and asks permission and says, Zahra, they want to see you. What do I say? She says, In kunta qad dhaminta lahuma shay'an fal baytu baytuk. House is yours, Ya Ali. That is that height of obedience and ihtiram she has to her husband. Says, Ali, this house is yours. Whatever you say, I will do. If you want them to come, let them come. If you don't want them not to come, they cannot come. Now here when they do come to see Hazrat Fatima, upon their insisting, Imam allows and they come. They come and they greet Zahra and say, Salamun alaik. She does not reply. Now don't say that salam is wajib and you have to reply to that salam. Now she is ma'suma. She knows what she is doing. If she is replying, she knows why she is replying. If she is not replying, she also knows why she is not replying. She doesn't reply to their salam. Now if kuffar and mushrikeen, they come and greet you with salam, you don't say salamun alaykum to them. It's not wajib. You don't say salamun. وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَى مَنِ اتَّبَعَ الْهُدَى. Salam is for someone who has accepted and taken guidance. So if someone who is faithless come and says Salamun alaykum to you, you say As-salam alayna, upon us. So that way you can twist it. She doesn't reply to their salam. She turns away. Now when a guest comes, you have to be respectful to the guest. You don't turn your back on your guest. She turns her back on the guest. On both of them. And then she says, I'll ask you a question, answer. They say, yes, daughter of the Prophet, what is the question? Says, do you remember my father on such and such a day, past midnight, he summoned you too? They say, yes, we do remember. She says, what did he say? He said that Fatima is part of me. Whosoever hurts her has hurt me. Whosoever has hurt me has hurt Allah. Whosoever has hurt the Almighty, His wrath, His ghadab, His rage is upon them. They repeated, says, I am not happy with you. I am not content with you with what you did to me. What they did? After Rasulullah, they come to get the allegiance and the bay'at of Amirul Mu'mineen. The right was Ali's. The first thing that they should have been doing is the funeral service of the Rasulullah to be observed. In the funeral services of Rasulullah, none of them is present. So Amirul Mu'mineen buries Rasulullah, and in the burial they are absent, and after the burial, during the time of burial, they choose the Khalifa instead of Amirul Mu'mineen. That right of Amirul Mu'mineen is seized away at that time of burial. Now here, when that haqq is seized away, they come to get the allegiance from Amirul Mu'mineen. Imam is in the house. He doesn't want to swear his allegiance to them. They come and Hazrat Zahra comes to open the door. Now she hears the conversation. The conversation is that we will burn this house down. People, they were saying that Zahra is in the house. He says, Wa'in, let her be in the house. I'm going to smash this door, burn the house down. The door was burnt. Zahra was behind the door. When he bashes open the door on her, she gets crushed between the door and the wall, and she is pregnant. There's a nail in the door which injures her chest. She falls to the ground, and this Mal'oon, he says that now he comes and steps on the door, and Zahra is beneath the door now. He says that I heard the ribs crack. Ribs of Hazrat Zahra. She was crushed under the door was burnt. Now this is the Mazlumiyat, the height of Mazlumiyat onto the household of Wahi. On a house where Hazrat Zahra, she says that Jibreel, who is the chief of staff of all of the angels, when he brings a message from Allah, he stands by the door and gets the permission of Rasulullah, and when the permission was granted, he enters upon Rasulullah. This is that very door that was bashed upon Hazrat Zahra alayha salam. Now in her wasiyat she says that Ali, I want my burial to take place at night. I want my ghusl and my kafan, my shrouding to be taken place at night. And I do not want any one of these mala'in to be present in my funeral. Now it is a wasiyat and it has to be fulfilled. Now here Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, he abides by the wasiyah and everything is being done at night. Says that Asma is with Amirul Mu'mineen and Ali is washing the body. Now here when the body is being washed, Amirul Mu'mineen instructs everyone at home that everyone has to be quiet and gentle. No one has to raise the voice, no one has to cry, no one has to find out in the neighborhood that Zahra, she has passed away, and it is the funeral services over here. Asma is pouring the water on the body of Zahra. Ali washes the body from under a sheet. Says, Beriz aabe ravan Asma bijisme athare Zahra vali aheste aheste. Says, Asma, you pour water on this pure body of Zahra, but be very quiet and very gentle. All of a sudden, when he's washing the body, Amir al-Mu'mineen screams and shouts out loud. Asma says, Ali, did you not say to be gentle and quiet? Why have you raised your voice? Says, Zahra, she had hidden from me. Her arm is fractured. Her ribs, they are broken. That is that Zahra. She is washed. The body is, the prayers are offered on the body. And she is buried. Now after the burial, what Amir al-Mu'mineen does is that he makes so many fake graves in Medina. And in the morning, the first and the second, they come. And they say that we heard the Prophet's daughter has been buried. Imam says, yes. Says, we haven't offered prayers on it, on her. Says, it was her wasiyah that you should not be present. Says, I'm going to exhume and open these graves, bring the body out, offer prayers, and then she is going to be buried again. Amir al-Mu'mineen takes his sword out, says, one of these graves be dug open, it's going to be a bloodshed. Upon the mediation of Abu Bakr, that is aborted, and none of those graves were opened. Now Hazrat Zahra alayha salam, when she is buried, her wasiyat is that Ali, I want you to sit by my head in my grave, recite Quran a lot, because that was my acquaintance and my own in this dunya. Dua a lot, because that was what I was bonded in this dunya. Amir al-Mu'mineen abides by that wasiyah, recites Quran on Zahra, and du'as, and quickly closes the grave. And then says, Assalamu alaykuma. Salam be upon you too. That is Hazrat Fatima and Rasulullah. And then says to Rasulullah that, Ya Rasulullah, I love you. And I want to be here. I want to talk to you. But I cannot do that because it is the wasiyah of your daughter that her grave must not be identified by anyone. No one should know where she is buried until the day of judgment. With all that mazlumiyat, this first incident takes place in the house of Wahy, and she departs from this dunya. Ala la'natullah ala al-qawm al-zalimin wa sayalamu alladhina zalamu ayya munqalabin yanqalibun. Ilahi بحق الزهراء وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها 10 times. Ya Allah, 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 Ya Allah. Allahumma ahyana hayata Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. وأمتنا ممات محمد وآل محمد اللهم ارزقنا في الدنيا زيارة محمد وآل محمد وفي الآخرة شفاعة محمد وآل محمد. اللهم عجل في فرج محمد وآل محمد. Ilahi, all those who are ill and ailing and have requested for du'as by Hazrat Fatima, grant them shifa. All those who have passed away, Ilahi, whatever wrong they have done, forgive them. And by Hazrat Fatima, elevate their ranks. Ilahi, our children to be enlisted among the best of Muslims. We all to be enlisted among the best of servants and supporters of Imam al-Asr alayhi salam. Muslimin worldwide, oppressed worldwide, especially in Palestine. Allah ease them. Allah comfort them. Allah remove the zulm and oppression from the surface of this earth by the return of our Imam alayhi salam. Matam Hussain.
Hussein, Ya 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 Hussein. भरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा, 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 भरे दरबार में ना जाने किस तरह, ना जाने किस तरह हक मांगती रही ज़हरा, भरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा, भरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा, भरे दरबार में सनद के टुकड़े हवा में उड़ा के हंसने लगा, रसूल ज़ादी से गुस्ताख ऐसे कहने लगा, बता वो कौन सी, बता वो कौन सी जागीर है तेरी ज़हरा, भरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा, भरे दरबार, सब मिलके पढ़ें, रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा, भरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा, भरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा, भरे दरबार में सनद के टुकड़े हवा में उड़ा के हंसने लगा, रसूल ज़ादी से गुस्ताख ऐसे कहने लगा, کون سی جاگیر ہے تیری زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی. سب مل کے پڑھیں. بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں. حسن حسین سے سچے گواہ بھی جھٹلائے رلا کے بی بی کو ظالم ذرا نہ شرمائے. بھلا نہ پائے گی بھلا نہ پائے گی امت کی بے رخی زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں. نہ جانے کی طرح نہ جانے کی طرح حق مانگتی رہی زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی 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 زہرا بھرے دربار میں. یہ اس کی بیٹی ہے جس نے دولت چاند کیا وہ جس کے نور نے ہر روشنی کو مان کیا. اسے ستاؤ نا اسے ستاؤ نا دکھیاری ہے بڑی زہرا بھر دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے 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 دربار میں. نبی کے بعد یہ کیا ہو گیا زمانے کو کیوں کلمہ گو ہے چلتے را گھر جلانے کو. سہے گی کی طرح سہے گی کی طرح تو یہ ستم گری زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں. نہ جانے کی طرح نہ جانے کی طرح حق مانگتی رہی زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں. حسن حسین سے سچے گواہ بھی جھٹلائے رلا کے بی بی کو ظالم ذرا نہ شرمائے. بھلا نہ پائے گی بھلا نہ پائے گی امت کی بے رخی زہرا بھرے دربار رہی کھڑی زہرا بھرے دربار میں روتی مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین وہ عابد بیمار تھا وہ عابد بیمار تھا چلنے سے جو لاچار تھا چلنے سے جو لاچار تھا اور شام کا بازار تھا اور شام کا بازار تھا اور مصطفیٰ کی بیٹیاں مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی سینے پہ جو شاہ کے پلی سینے پہ جو کے پلی جس کی ابا بن میں جلی جس کی ابا بن میں جلی منہ پر تماچوں کے نشان مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین اللہم صلی اللہ
السلام